we share, with a dash of this and a pinch of that, mixed all up with care. The best company and conversation, recipes and new creations. We're cooking up something good here at home. We are cooking up something good here at home.
Well, hello, At Home family. We're so glad you joined us in the kitchen today because it's going to be a very special day. I know the holidays, it hardly seems possible that they can be upon us. This is like the kickoff to some of the busiest weeks you're going to spend, especially this year because we're at the end of the year. But today we're doing some ideas for you to fix for desserts for your family or for whoever you're entertaining, or just for yourself because you deserve it too. And we're doing a traditional, yet some with a little spin on it, a sweet potato pie. Now, probably pumpkin's always been your thing, like most of us, but I've done so many pumpkin pies, I thought, let's try something different. And we're going to give you a cookie recipe. And we're also going to do some unusual, they're kind of like an apple dumpling, kind of like, but you're going to like them because they're real unusual too. And my guest cook who's with me today is a very good friend of mine, Laura Walker. She and I have been friends probably better than 30 years. Par excellence, a wonderful mother, grandmother. She's a nurse. She's got a passion for missions. She goes on mission trips all the time. She's an entrepreneur. She's just an all-around wonderful person. I tell you, she's a kind of a friend that everybody should have one like her, because when you're in need, she is there by your side. Years ago when I had surgery, she was there every day at the hospital, and I appreciate that so much. I just appreciate that. So she's going to be here. She's also a good cook, and she's going to be making some of these wonderful desserts, and you're not going to want to miss it. So why don't you call your friend and say, hey, tune in, because we're making Thanksgiving desserts, the time of the year when we're so thankful, when we're reminded to be thankful. Thankfulness should be an attitude of the heart that's there every day, but you know, we need a nudge every once in a while just to get us back into that groove of being thankful. God is so good, and He loves and cares for you. We'll be back in just a minute, but first, here's today's at-home hint. When baking cookies, be sure your dough is thoroughly chilled when it goes on your baking pan. This will allow the leavening ingredients to work before the butter flattens out and your cookies lose their textural distinctions. If you've got a helpful hint, we want to hear from you. Send your hint to At Home Hints, Cornerstone Television, Wall, Pennsylvania, 15148-1499. Well, I'm so glad Laura Walker, my dear friend, is with us today. It's good to see you, Laura, as always.
So good to be here, R.
You're such a blessing. You know you are.
Well, you are as well.
Well, I think we have mutual affection for each other because we're good friends for so long.
Absolutely.
And I know that you have a very thankful heart because God's been so good to you.
Yes, He has been.
Over all the years.
Absolutely.
He's worked marvelously in her life. And today, I thought on a day when we need to be thankful, I'd have you help me with the desserts. And you're going to start to do a pumpkin raisin cookie.
Yes.
Okay, give us this little idea, like what goes into this.
Okay, well, first of all, we're going to put the dry ingredients in the bowl, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to put our flour in.
Okay.
And then we're going to put in the baking powder, the baking soda,
Okay.
and then our salt. And I'm just going to mix it just a little bit with the mixer.
Okay.
You know, just
so
to
that's
make
just
sure
to get
it's
them
stirred
mixed up.
Yeah.
Okay, while she's doing that, I'm making my sweet potato pies. And in this bowl, I want you to see that I have sweet potatoes, 4 large sweet potatoes that I have boiled with the skins on until they're so tender that you can get your fork in and out real easy, and the skins will come right off, okay? To that, I have added a cup of butter, okay? And I'm just going to let this go while you're telling us what else you're doing over there.
Okay.
We're blending the butter into the sweet potatoes.
So now we put our sugar in the bowl and our butter.
How much sugar is that?
This is, let's see. It's 1.5 cups of sugar.
Okay.
Okay, and then we want to mix in to the sugar the 1/2 cup of butter.
Okay.
So you want to blend that up.
Good to have the butter soft so it blends well, huh?
Yes, it is.
Okay, as you can see, my butter is just about melted. It's really important that your potatoes are really hot. Just take the skins off. You won't be able to touch them. Put them in and put the butter in so the butter incorporates really, really well. Okay? While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and add some other things here, okay? Okay, right. Then I'm going to add my sugar. This would be, let me see, 2 cups of sugar. I'm just going to start to blend that in. This is going to make a lot. This makes 4 pies, regular size, or 2 deep dish pies. So there's a lot going on here. Okay, and now what are you doing over there?
So now I'm going to put an egg in. And after you put your egg in, then you want to add your vanilla flavoring. Mm-hmm. And we have some fresh pumpkin that we're going to put in here.
Not fresh, canned, pure pumpkin. Yeah, the fresh is
well,
different.
You can use fresh if you like, but we're using canned today.
Yeah, but I don't know about if you could in those cookies. I'm not sure.
Oh, really?
I've never done it with cookies. Yeah, I know pies you can, but this is a new recipe, so you could try it. Let me know.
Yeah. Well, actually, Monica made some of this last night. She bought a pumpkin and she made the puree.
Oh,
so
okay, good.
We'll see. So then we're going to mix this up.
All right. Now while she's mixing that, I added some nutmeg and some cinnamon, just a little bit, and that can totally be to your liking, okay? And then I have 4 eggs, and I'm just going to blend them. And I'm going to add some evaporated milk, about 1/3 cup of evaporated milk. Okay, like to scrape it and get it all out of there. I know it's hard with all these mixers going, but I hope you can hear us because I'm shouting at Laura and she's shouting at me. Not really. And we have some vanilla, just a little bit.
Okay, now I'm just going to add some of the dry ingredients into the...
Okay, that's your flour ingredients that you mixed before. Okay. And as this is blended now with my eggs, I'm just going to drop this in with the sweet potato mixture. And I just want this to incorporate. We're going to turn it up a little bit because you want all of that to get in there really, really well. As eggs are going to enrich it. Now, as you know, you have to have your pie crust. You can make your own pie crust, or you can use the kind that you get in the box, or however. Frozen you can do also. But I thought what I would do, this is the refrigerated pie crust that you roll out, and then you do your own crimping around the edge. This is a deep dish. You see it's got handles on it. So this will hold more filling than the others, okay? So let me show you this one. This is a 9-inch pie plate, and you can see it's smaller. So it says it will make 2 of those, 4 of those, or 2 of these. But I'm gonna make 2 of these and 1 of these and see how we do it, okay? Basically now all I'm gonna do is I'm just going to take my pumpkin, my sweet potato. It looks like pumpkin, that's why it's got me confused here for a minute. Nice and quiet, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. How are we doing over there? Oh, that looks nice.
Good.
That's pretty color, huh?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now we're going to put some, I'm going to mix the raisins in by hand.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love pumpkin and raisins together.
It's
one of my favorites. And you want to, as she's doing that, you want to scrape, make sure everything in the bottom of your bowl is incorporated with the rest of the filling. And you just want to keep blending it around. Looks like a beautiful filling. And we're going to start to pour. I think I'll fill this smaller one first.
Oh, that does look really
good. Isn't that nice and creamy?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait. Now we start to bake these on 450 degrees because you have to do that in order to get your pie crust to be nice and brown. And that's what you have to do. You have to go up to this higher temperatures for about 15 minutes, and then you're going to drop it. And you're going to drop it to 350, and you're going to continue to bake for about 45 minutes. So we're going to do that. And get your oven good and hot. Always start with a preheated oven. Don't put this in a cold oven, you'll be sorry. Okay, and you're going to use a scoop to put those out on your...
Yes, I am.
Okay, we only have a minute here, so show them the
Okay.
kind of scoop that you're
I sure
going
will.
to do. Okay?
I'm actually going to use this scoop, but you want to make sure that you put just a little bit, maybe like a tablespoon, on your cookie sheet. You don't want to put more than that because it'll make the cookie a little bit too big.
Too big, yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to get about 4 dozen of cookies out of this, right?
Yeah, 3.5 to 4 dozens is what you get. And now, the next thing you want to do is, of course, you want to make sure that your oven is preheated to 300. And then you want to spray your sheet with some Pam.
So it doesn't stick. Good
Yep.
idea.
And then you want to spoon the cookies on.
Yum. I tell you, this makes your mouth water because I love sweet potatoes to begin with, and they're very good for you. Maybe all the stuff you put on them isn't, but boy, I'll tell you, those sweet potatoes, nothing better. Nothing tastes so sweet to me as a sweet potato. Very unusual that a vegetable would taste that sweet, but it does, and I love that about it. Okay, so we have the 3 pies. They're going to go into the oven. Laura's diligently spooning out her cookies. And when we come back, a whole lot more. Stay with us. We'll be right back for more Thanksgiving desserts. Well, if you're just joining us, Laura, my friend, and I have been making Thanksgiving desserts.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, they're awesome. I have to say it, they're awesome.
They are.
The cookies are all baked. She's even going to put an incredible icing over the top. And I'm going to make something called a Mountain Dew apple dumpling. Incredible. Go ahead,
Okay.
tell us about your...
All right, so I just want to tell you guys how to make the icing for the cookies. You want to heat in the saucepan your butter. You want to melt that, add your brown sugar, and then you want to add a little bit of milk, and you want to stir it together. So that's what we have here. And then you're going to put your powdered
you have
sugar.
to boil that, right?
Yeah,
Does
you
it have to come to a boil?
It has to come to a boil before you add the powdered sugar.
Okay.
And so we took care of doing that. So now I'm going to add the powdered sugar, and you're actually going to put 2.5 cups in.
This is going to be like is it a caramel flavor?
It is. It is
Oh,
a
my.
caramel flavor, and it's
On a pumpkin
oh, my
raisin
goodness.
cookie. Can you imagine that combination? Oh,
It
dear.
tastes so good.
And look how
So,
nice. That we got, what, 4 dozen of cookies?
We got 4 dozen of cookies.
There they are.
And so what I'm going to do is show you what the final
Yeah, because that has to
product
cool.
is.
That should cool down so it thickens so that she can put it on the cookies. See how thick it is?
And so this is what it turns out to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good. And so what we're going to do is just put it right on top of the cookie.
And the heat of the cookie will make it just kind of slide over, melt slightly.
Yes.
So
it
just
will.
dollop it on the top, and then
Yeah.
it forms its own. You might want to stir that because that seems like it's a little thick.
Well, it is a little thick because it's been sitting for a little bit.
Because you have to
Yeah.
cool it. Yeah.
Because we did have
Yummy,
to cool
yummy.
it some.
But if you need to afterwards, you can go back and smooth it out if it stays,
Yeah, you can.
too thick at the top and doesn't spread all over the cookie.
And we usually put this on as soon as the cookies come out of the oven.
So they're nice and warm.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, while she's doing that, this is the easiest apple dumpling recipe you'll ever see. You take the cans of crescent rolls. I'm making 2 cans worth, so this is 16 apple dumplings. You separate them into the perforations that they already have, and you just keep it cold. It's important to keep the dough cold. And you just shape it like that. Now we've cut up some Granny Smith apples, and there's nothing on these apples. There's absolutely nothing on them, but you want to cut them in small pieces. As you can see, these are very small pieces. And you're going to take about 2 teaspoons of apples, and you're going to put it on the wide end of the crescent roll. What the world do we do without these crescent rolls? I mean, before they made them, Because there's so many things. They can be desserts, they can be, main courses, they can be snacks. And you're just going to roll it from the wide end to the narrow end. And I've already made some here. And there they are. Again, just take this, a couple of, you don't want to overload it because they'll break out and they won't be in there when you go to eat it. They'll be all over the pan. And you just roll, tuck the corners in, and roll them up. Kids could make these. This is not hard. Okay? And there's 8 perforations in perforated pieces of dough in each can. So to make 16, you need 2 cans. And you only need a couple of apples because you don't put a lot of apple in it. Now I've thought maybe sometime I would take like a half of an apple or a quarter of an apple and wrap the dough around the apple instead of making the little bits, but I didn't try that today, so I don't want to lead you down the path and not know what happens. And then you're tucking them in like that. Okay, you spray your pan first before you put them in. Now, in this pan, we've made a syrup. And this syrup is something that we have to pour all over the top. Looks like it's getting a little thick here. Let me show you.
It really smells good too.
This is incredible. What this is cinnamon, butter, and sugar. And we put it on just till it melts. You just want the sugar to melt. And you want it to be, it can be kind of thick, or you can make it a little on the thinner side. But whichever. Pull this back here so I can get it right. You're just going to spoon this over the top of all of these. Okay? Oh my. Again, my mouth is watering.
Oh, it looks delicious.
I mean, that flavor on these, unbelievable. Just the smell in here is incredible. I wish we had smell-o-vision because you would all be running to the store to get the apples and the crescent rolls. Okay? So anything excess, just pour it over the top. It will be fine, just like that. Now, the last step is 1 can of Mountain Dew. Pour it over the top. I don't know why it says to do it. 1 12-ounce can, that's what I have. The whole can. Now, this is going into the oven. This is going to bake for about 35 minutes in the preheated 350-degree oven. And you've got incredible apple dumplings. The person that gave me this said, Arlene, they are awesome. How are we doing over there, Missy?
We're doing pretty good.
Okay, Laurie, could you come and get this for us? Thank you. Laurie's going to pop this in the oven. Thank you, dear. Okay. Do you need any help over here?
Sure.
Okay.
That'd be great. Give me a little hand.
Let me get my little spatula.
Okay. Our cookies have cooled a little bit, and so we need to do a little more spreading with the icing.
You know what else you could do?
What's that?
If you wanted to, you could pop those back in the oven just for a minute, and then that would melt that right back down.
Yeah, we could.
So that would not be difficult. But I'm just going to take this and spread this around a little bit.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah. Because I don't know about you, but I like to get icing in every bite, don't you?
I do too, R.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, why have a cookie and only have a little bite of icing? You're going to splurge all the way, right?
Go all the way.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, this time of the year, Laura, is so important because we're Christians and we have a thankful heart, hopefully all year long, but particularly this time of the year because we have so much to be thankful for.
Yes, we do. We really do.
So much to be thankful. Laura is a registered nurse, and she's been in nursing how many years?
It's been 28 years.
Wow.
Do you believe it?
Hard to
28
believe.
years. And you know, I was talking with one of my patients the other day, and he was asking me why I became a nurse. I told him I really feel that it's ministry.
Sure.
But my
yes.
grandmother was my biggest supporter and encourager for that.
She was like a mentor, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She was also a nurse.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
So she passed the baton to you.
Yes, she did.
But you're right, it is a ministry. It's not a job. If it's a job, you're in the wrong job.
Absolutely.
Because you have to do more than what's expected of you many times. Well, we're going to continue icing. When we come back, we're going to show you the pies and the dumplings and the cookies. We'll be back in just a minute, but here's how you can get all the recipes from today's show and from the whole month, which will include Thanksgiving, so you don't want to miss that one. Here's the way you can get them. Well, I certainly hope you've enjoyed our Thanksgiving dessert ideas with my friend Laura, and what a great time we had in the kitchen today. It's always fun when you're doing stuff with your friends. Here's our pies, our 3 sweet potato pies. And I hope that we just took them out of the oven, so I hope they set up enough that you can see the consistency. And I hope that it's something a little different than maybe you've ever made before, but we'll see. Oh, I didn't get my...
Beautiful.
Yeah, there it is. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And of course, you can do the whipped cream if you want to. And also, tell us about your cookies, Laura.
Okay, we have our pumpkin raisin cookies here with our caramel icing, and they look absolutely delicious. And I have to tell you, they are.
They taste absolutely delicious
we
too.
tasted them, and they're wonderful.
And then we have
wonderful.
our Mountain Dew apple dumplings. I tell you, with a scoop of ice cream, unbelievable. I hope you're going to try all of these. Thank you so much, Laura. Please come back again. She's going to come back in a few weeks and share some good stuff with us.
Yes.
But most of all, I hope that you'll keep a thankful heart. Go to church on Sunday. You know, it will bless the pastor. It will bless you. And most of all, it'll bless the Lord. He'll be so glad you did. It's important to be thankful, particularly this time of the year, because, you know, that thankful heart is so, so necessary. And it should be a heart that we have all year long, not just now. So, family, be sure to join us the next time, because it just wouldn't be the same without you. We'll see you then. Thanks, Laura.
Food provided by Jordan Banana Company, wholesalers of fresh fruit and vegetables in Dravosburg, Pennsylvania.
Cornerstone Television wishes to thank all our faithful viewers whose consistent prayers and financial support have made this program possible.